You can get a prostitute for that amount of money, bro.
Yeah.
Actually.
Okay. I will tell you, when I started, it was right before Joad said, you can get a prostitute for that amount of money. Yep. So, welcome to the pod if you're listening. We're back after a while, but today we have first-time guest, Trey Lawrence, our other roommate, and probably the last one you'll ever see on this pod. Our fifth isn't very interested in things with us.
How's it going, Obcast? Thank you for welcoming me on your pod. This is going to be a good time.
So what Joad was talking about was the gym at the school that these guys go to, Georgia Tech. They had like a day pass for $5, and now it's $10, which means it doubled in price.
It's a bit of a ripoff. I mean, up at Kennesaw State, they've been at $10, but at Georgia State, what is it, $5?
Mm-hmm. Still $5. You know who I think they're really screwing? It's like, I'm sure there were some people who'd go there maybe a couple times a week, whatever, to like just run. And now you're paying more money to run, which sucks.
Yeah, people near Georgia State's campus, because outside of it's kind of shitty. So you kind of got to go to the gym to run to have more safety.
Yeah, I like running outside in downtown Atlanta. I like the attention from the homeless. You know.
Oh yeah, they're jealous of.
Yeah, you can like hurdle them. They're like little obstacles. Spartan racing with the
Spartan race.
You start carrying two at a time.
They're press using those cones. You just juke around them. Spin move. Got them.
Homeless man hurdles.
Sometimes they even give me like free water bottles. Or
Gatorade
bottles.
Yeah, you guys snatched Gatorades, bro. That was ridiculous today. They were jumping right in front of my car. That's pretty bad in Florida with the jaywalking. Like sometimes I drive around and they'll be at nighttime. There are no street lamps or anything, and there's be people just jumping right in front of me, and like I could barely see them, and I easily could have hit them. Luckily, I didn't. For the Obcast listening, I had not hit them.
I'm still trying to think of like Spartan race obstacles, but like Atlanta version. So we have the homeless people hurdles. I know they have like spear throwing. What would be like the Atlanta version of that?
Like glass bottle.
Wing throwing.
Like
chicken wing throwing. Lemon pepper throwing.
What are the bottles where like they like light the
Molotovs?
Yeah, Molotov.
Ooh, Molotov throwing.
Yeah, Molotov cocktails.
Oh, and we did have the BLM protests.
Yep.
So
that's
pretty good. That's
you gotta
pretty
like
good,
crawl under the KFC that's lit on fire or something. Actually, no.
It was Wendy's.
Yeah, they would never light up a KFC. Come on now.
They did light up a Wendy's. Yeah, they do have the thing where they crawl under the barbed wire. I don't know. People do that here, but they're robbing a bank, like a warehouse.
No one in downtown Atlanta is smart enough to rob a bank. They're from out of town.
How hard is it to rob a bank nowadays?
Well, maybe you can speak to that, Mr. Federal Reserve.
Dude, haven't you seen No Country for Old Men?
We did watch that.
With Chris Pine, right?
No,
that's Hell or High Water. Haven't you seen Hell or High Water?
No, I have not. I need to watch that though.
They make it seem really easy to rob banks. The two main characters, Chris Pine.
Well, when's it set? Like, what's the?
It is. I think it's around the 2008 recession. Mm-hmm. It's around one of the recessions. Yeah.
Oh, jeez, that's recent. Yeah, back in like the early 1900s, you could just it was so easy to rob banks that they would have nicknames to tell people that how many places they've robbed banks at. That's why in Home Alone they were like, "We're the Wet Bandits." Because like they had to have a name for themselves. Because it was so easy to rob banks that they wanted recognition for being able to go to all these different places. And they're like, "Oh, who's robbing?" Like, there's 7 different robberies. It's like, yeah, but they're all by the same dang person.
And they leave their mark at the end, so they know who it is.
Signature.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But nowadays, if you do that, it's like, oh, they just left us some free DNA. These guys are screwed. Nice.
They're like, I think they also like old, like back in the day, old banks that have fake bags of money for the robbers to steal, so they wouldn't actually take like a lot of money. You know,
the tellers just give them fake
bills.
Well, I guess nowadays they just give them like those blow up bills or like the paint. Like when you open it up, it just like shoots out like inked bills.
Yeah, and then there's also like a sensor in there, isn't there?
Yeah,
but like who goes into a bank and actually robs physical cash now?
Yeah, no. I think there's more hackers that try to like hack into people's accounts.
Cybersecurity. Instead of stealing bags of money, they're stealing NFTs.
We're not just NFTs, but what was that like Sam
Bateman,
man? The guy that conned all the crypto. You hear about that? That's why it crashed.
Tell me more.
I actually don't know much about it. I think his name's Sam Bateman.
Yeah.
And do you know?
Hold on.
What do you know about it?
Yeah. Trey took a break there because he's drinking a bottle of spring water that's like the size of a foam roller.
It's 1.5 liters. It's my favorite to drink out of. If your goal is to drink a gallon a day, you get 1.5 liters bottle. You drink 2.5 of them, you're at a gallon. It's not heavy to carry around, so it's not like you're carrying around an actual gallon. And the regular 50 milliliter water bottles that you typically see, you have to fill it up 7 times in order to get to a gallon. That's just tedious. So This is a perfect mediation between those two vices, to where all you have to do is fill it up 3 times and you're at your gallon.
Now you can hydrate and massage out the knots in your muscles.
There you go. I mean, this isn't very stiff, as we talked about this morning. But no, I really enjoy it, yeah. And this is a skinny one, so it can fit in my bag. And
yeah.
all that I can bring in class, just drink like a regular water.
Yeah, by the way, guys, we're not sponsored by Trader Joe's Mountain Spring Water. I know what it sounds like.
I think I need to make that known. I'm not sponsored by Blue Bean, no matter how much I talk about it. So.
Trey just really likes Trader Joe's natural mountain spring water, and why shouldn't he?
It's 79 cents. Stay hydrated, folks. What's going on?
I will say Trader Joe's prices are unbeatable right now.
Especially compared to Kroger. Oh my gosh, Kroger.
Oh yeah.
Freaking nightmare.
You want to take us through your receipt today?
Well, actually, I saved quote unquote $10 worth, but it was basically $10 more than anything comparable.
You get the discount to the normal inflated price.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
The old give and take.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you should thank me that I'm selling this to you at a regular price, and you wouldn't have got it had you not had that stinking little keychain.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah. Kroger kind of makes me mad sometimes. I don't know.
Grocery Nazis.
Actually, yeah, Kroger's...
Even Publix is expensive, too. Target and Walmart aren't as bad.
Publix has nice quality, though. Like, they got like unique stuff that I like.
Their bakery and deli's more high quality, but other than that,
I mean, as a Florida man, pub subs are the goat.
But like normal
as
groceries,
a Georgia man, pub subs are the good.
No,
I'm just speaking on groceries itself. It's like the exact same.
Yeah, there's that, but also like I like to get the bread and wings. There's like 20 of them, and they're really good.
But the actual food items, like the stuff you get off the shelves,
I don't really
itself,
shop.
I think Publix has worse prices than Kroger. They're the real food now.
Oh yeah, their eggs. Oh my god, it was like $6.99 for like the normal, like the regular, like the Trader Joe's $3.99.
The regular white basic eggs.
Yeah, I paid probably the same price for the pasture raised, blah blah blah, hippie type eggs.
Yep.
Your girl asks you to take you out to a nice, expensive dinner. You just make some eggs.
Yeah, those chickens had access to therapy.
Actually,
those chickens went through Pilates, bro.
Yeah, raised in Buckhead.
No alk chickens.
During right when the COVID shutdown kind of went down to 14 days to slow to spread, my aunt and uncle thought it would be fun for their family to buy a bunch of chickens to raise and have them make eggs naturally for their family in the case of like an apocalypse and they were like shut in at their house. At least they had a food supply out of their chickens. I think this was more of a thing to get their kids involved in something that was fun. And then the coyotes got into it.
Oh.
No fun.
Man.
Or it might have been a dog. I don't know.
Just eat the coyote.
You guys gotta get a road runner.
Dogs eat the coyote.
Distract the coyote.
My little cousin used to do that a lot. He would, we went to Charleston at the beach and he would just go like beep beep and he'd just run. That's something he's very proud of is doing cross country. Mm-hmm. So like that's what he would do. He would be like, "Hey Trey, what's up, Doc?" Beep beep. Just run away. I'm like, those aren't the same.
I feel like chickens in the coop is a better metaphor than ducks in a barrel, but I now realize it's fish in a barrel. And it's sitting ducks.
I was about to say, who the hell uses ducks in a barrel?
I thought it was ducks in a barrel. I was like, who's putting ducks in a barrel?
You said that, I was like, I've never done that in my life.
Malicious.
It's animal cruelty.
Well, as a fish in a barrel isn't either. You're still eating them.
Chickens in a coop, though. It's my own thing. It's unique. when they use it.
It's like the Gauge cage.
Like the Gauge cage.
Yeah, that's vile, bro. That is vile.
Shout out Russell Gage. Get better soon.
Prayers up, man.
He is feeling his movements in all extremities. Thank God. That was pretty scary to see him fall at the end of the game.
Especially with the DeMar Hamlin thing.
Yeah, it was like right next to each other.
It's like I was like, damn, another one.
Some doctor posted on Twitter like 5 minutes later on tweeting out that it can't be paralysis. They just like no, because like he got like hit at the top of his head, and then I think he just got like probably like a neck concussion injury, and like somehow the doctor just knew it, like it wasn't spinal.
Yeah,
but he's had back issues the past few weeks too. Like at the end of like either last game or the game before that, like toward the end, he caught like 2 passes in a row, and both times he just got absolutely like drilled in the spine.
I mean,
it's all connected, man. Yeah.
Well, yeah, when that part's sore, then everything's sore now.
Unbelievable what those players go through. Rose-colored glasses. The Bucks aren't going to need him anytime soon. So.
Yeah.
Updated Super Bowl picks. What are we doing?
I'm still rocking Bills Eagles.
I said Bills Cowboys. Still rocking it.
Chiefs. Yeah, I think I have the Chiefs winning in the AFC. Who would I have the NFC?
So you've got the Niners, the Cowboys,
Eagles,
the Eagles, and the Giants.
Ooh, the G-Men go for the G-Men.
Go with the Giants.
Danny Dimes going crazy now.
He played great. He was like, I don't watch Giants games, so I was like very surprised.
He only has 15 passing touchdowns this year, so I was like, can this dude even like is he really that?
No, he was a stud, total stud.
Where'd he go to college?
Florida?
Nope.
Duke?
Yep. That's like the only football player I know that came out of Duke.
Oh, okay. Is their football program not that great?
No.
Okay.
Georgia Tech beat them. That's how.
That's how bad they are?
Yeah.
Wow.
Me and Jed watched Tech beat Duke. I have a selfie with the blue
Woo!
Yay, Georgia Tech,
Yeah, I guess when you have 2 techies on here, you're going to get this section of the pod.
5 and 7. Worship us.
Oh, man. Brent, key season.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we need to fire Brent Key already, and we need to fire Josh Pastner.
Yeah.
Both of you go to Tech. You're both in your last semester, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to give the crowd a rundown of Tech?
No.
The overall experience.
No, I'm good.
Find out for yourself.
It's overrated. Not overrated. It's not as hard as people think.
I don't think it's overrated. I think the people are overrated.
Well, no, I shouldn't say overrated. It's just not as hard as people think. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's like most colleges. Like even Harvard. Like you see, like guys like Conan. Like people that go to Harvard would be like, it's just harder to get into those things. But once you get there, it's like Georgia Tech's probably the same difficulty as Harvard.
Yeah, I mean,
but to get in, obviously, is a lot harder.
You can kind of tell how that all plays out from the transfer process. So I took my first 2 years at UNG. I dual enrolled. First year, paid nothing for it because the state paid for it, and then the second year, the rented tuition was super cheap. It was like $650 a semester. I paid it off in a paycheck, and then I transferred into Georgia Tech, and everything transferred in, which kind of tells the show that what I took at UNG is just as worth as credit at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, kids, it's not over if you don't get into the college your first year.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy to transfer.
Yeah, transferring is actually really, really easy. But like the reason why the tech degree is so prestigious compared to some other schools is just the selection process. Like I remember there was some people that came from tech to talk about the distance math program that they're offering at Lambert, which was basically it was like an 8 a.m. They taught linear algebra, multivar at 8 a.m. at school. And I had gotten a 1380 on SAT, so I got a perfect on a math, but a 580 in reading, which is pretty par.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to read.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to deal with the SAT telling me how to interpret stuff. Anyway.
Dude, what do you mean you can't analyze, like, an autobiography written by Harriet Tubman?
Nah, those questions weren't like that. But anyway, so, yeah, I remember I was the only person there without my parents there, which was interesting. I just got done hooping. I just walked over and joined it, and so I raised my hand. I'm like, yeah. So if I got an 800 in math and a 580 in reading, what are my odds? Everyone started laughing at me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting in. sure enough, I didn't get in, but that was a dual enrollment program. I never will truly know if I could have gotten in as a freshman. Doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, there's a degree hanging on my wall. It says Georgia Tech with my name on it with highest honors. There's no asterisk on the end of it. It's just as good as a degree as if you spent the first 2 years here. Saying that, you might miss out on some of the social aspects. You'll have to catch up in terms of making friends and some of the coursework, but in terms of monetary statures, it's actually one of the most genius ideas I've had in terms of how to approach college.
Hear that, companies? Trey's a free agent.
Sign him now.
Structural engineering.
A lot of paths to the mountaintop, as Trey said, but it's your choice. You can take the scenic route or the stressful, monotonous route through the woods.
It's not even insanely more stressful. It's just maybe like an extra assignment or two, but also everyone at a school, they treat their classes like it's a job. They show up. I don't mean everybody, but they show up as if it's a job because they might be paying for their tuition or they want to get out in a certain time. And saying that, they're very collaborative. Everyone tends to work together as long as you're nice to people. Then like it's not that hard making friends in classes. People are pretty open to making friends in classes, and so you can get a nice little study group. I have like a group of 8, and I didn't even have to try. I was just in their class. Like I was in all their classes, and just from proximity, we were able to get familiar with each other, and now we're gang, I guess.
Yeah, guys, with the demographics of the podcast today, this podcast is sponsored by Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. Listen to Trey. You can make friends if you go to Georgia Tech. Funny you bring that up. Well, funny how I brought that up. But have you noticed like alcohol commercials? Like the whole commercial is now like centered around you drink the drink and then you make a ton of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that? It's the first one I noticed.
Is that recent?
I've noticed it recently. So I noticed like the Jameson. First, it was like the Jameson whiskey ones. Mm-hmm. It's like the one where they have the whiskey and the ice thing, and then they put like an orange slice on it or something, and then suddenly you've got clout. Like
it would be like,
I don't know. It's just interesting to me that I guess their target market are drinkers, and you're like, hey, drink this, you'll make friends. Are they?
It would be like, yeah.
Does the research show that drinkers don't have friends?
People show up to the party in the commercial and it's just like everyone's dead. And it's like, oh, yeah. I'll have an apple juice. And everyone's just like dead. And then some dude kicks down the door. It's like, look what I got. Like a fucking ice full of Jameson. Just a box. And everyone starts grabbing it. Boom, 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 boom. And then suddenly everyone's just like getting lit and shit. And everyone's piping. It's like, what the fuck? No.
Dude, one day they're at a normal bar. Suddenly some guy raises an alcohol-free Heineken. And then suddenly everyone's happy.
I mean,
the bar comes alive.
That's just a sales tactic. I mean, same thing with pharmaceutical drug commercials. It's like they're
that's a good connection.
They target 50-year-olds, and then all of a sudden they take this miracle drug and they're like playing with their kids again. They're 20.
Montages of the perfect country club life.
They're walking their dog in the park.
And then like just all the side effects just start getting rambled on, and you can't hear it. It's like, you might die, have diarrhea, and like sleepiness, drowsiness. You might crash a car, and like just rattle them off. But like you say, they're legally required to say it. I think America is the only country that allows pharmaceutical drug commercials. I think
probably not the only country.
I feel like I've heard that.
Does that record
only country?
Does that record a Goog?
That, I mean, Jamie or Kowalski analysis. But yeah, I just feel like it's a sales tactic. There's
scam. Diamond commercials are a scam. Oh yeah. Diamonds are scams.
Joe, maybe you want to get on your.
Yeah, Joe, do you want to take off your tinfoil hat for a second?
I am never buying a diamond ring.
All right, explain your case.
Because they're a scam. Diamonds aren't actually scarce. They're just controlled by De Beers. Trey, like 90%.
You're right. It's the U.S. and New Zealand.
Okay.
So, 2 countries.
New Zealand. Just randomly New Zealand. The people who eat ice cream. That's what I associate with New Zealand.
Ice cream?
Yeah, they have like the highest ice cream consumption per capita.
Shit, I gotta go to New Zealand. I love ice cream.
That's where they shot Lord of the Rings. I don't want to go to the mountainous areas.
Maybe it's the ice cream that's responsible for the accent.
I don't even know what New Zealanders sound like, to be honest. They just sound like...
It numbs the tongue. they're always eating it.
I can't tell if this is discriminatory.
That was a Nancy Pelosi impersonation, wasn't it?
Nancy Pelosi?
With the ice cream and You never seen that?
No.
She's eating like $50 ice cream and is
the
like
good
saying
stuff.
some like virtue signaling thing. Like, or she's telling it's something silly with like really expensive ice cream for no reason.
Hey, you make that much money off insider trading. You better get some good fucking ice cream, Like
you gotta splurge a little.
I'm not saying I condone her previous actions, but I do condone this action.
The ice cream part, not the
she made it. She made it, so you might as well.
Not the insider trading, the ice cream.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the ice cream that's made from like the milk of cows that have better life than poor kids in America. It's like, why not? Why not? It's there.
Since when have you been an ice cream enthusiast? What am I?
You didn't know?
Well, I guess you did buy that like pumpkin ice cream, but like that's still
a big ice cream. Well, taking a hiatus. Health reasons.
Rehab. That's what I'm hearing.
Rehab?
I'm at a rehab class.
Rehab from what?
It's going pretty good.
Mint chocolate chip?
Sounds like it.
That stuff's deadly, man.
Mint chocolate chip? It's good for you.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it's just... Like,
it's good for your soul.
You sound like one of those commercials right now. Good for you. And then, like, an asterisk.
You take one bite, and then you get, like, all the ladies in the world. Then you're like, ice cream.
Yeah,
that's
so
the secret.
Back to diamonds.
Right.
Scam.
Sorry. We don't let you finish. Go ahead.
So, what are diamonds, guys?
They're rare gems.
They're not even a gem. They're just highly pressurized carbon. That's what a diamond is. That's how you make synthetic diamonds.
Okay, but they are gems, right?
I don't know if they classify them as gems, to be honest. I mean, I guess people would think they're gems, so yeah, I guess people would say they're gems. But they're not really scarce, and the people that control them just get to control how much goes out. That's how they jack up the price. And they got all these like stupid K commercials where they like brainwash women into thinking that they need a diamond ring, when like, no. You don't need a stupid, like, little piece, like a...
Well, what's the alternative, though?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, I'd rather get a gold ring, because that's actually... You know where gold comes from? That's from exploding stars.
It's heavier, too.
That is romantic.
That sounds way cooler than highly pressurized carbon that you can synthetically make. When have you said...
Okay, well, it's not cooler than...
Here, try wearing that on your hand for the rest of your life.
It's not cooler than overworking African children.
Bro, what are you talking... My grandma and grandpa both have gold rings.
We'll let that one slide.
Are you that weak to not... you can't wear a gold ring. You're gonna be like,
you mean just like a band, or like is there like a gold nugget at the end?
No, I don't.
Just the ring? Okay.
I don't think they make.
I mean, I would maybe try and get like some cool design, but they just have like they're obviously just old fat. Like back in the day, they're not getting these
My dad,
bling bling, but it's just a pure gold diamond. Gold ring.
Are you saying the diamonds are like the supreme shirts of the gem industry?
Yeah, I would say that.
Artificial demand and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, like back in the day, it was actually a rare commodity to have. Like people had to sacrifice a lot to mine them, and now we can.
No, people still do.
Like, but with technology, I mean, it's like I don't know how they would have to mine it, but basically, it would have to be in an environment with like a lot of pressure in order to compact it into that state. But now we have with our technology, we can just take some glass or like we can just take some sand and just pressurize the crap out of it, and then boom, we're just manufacturing diamonds.
Okay, then why do you need a diamond? Like, why did your spouse need like a 20K? Yeah, no, I'm just asking, like, to state my case even more, like, why? Why do you need a 20K thing object that, like, serves no, I don't know, just serves no value?
Well, it does kind of seem like it's purely a financial commitment of your love.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
It's a little too material when you put it that way.
Thoughts on prenups?
Oh, I mean, if you want to do one, you do one. I mean, I fully support prenups. If you want to do.
Like, would you have a prenup with?
I would have to see when I get to that point. I can't comment on something that's quite far away from me.
How can you comment on the diamond thing though?
That's totally different.
That's too far away too.
Who gets the diamond in your prenup if you guys divorce?
Well, she can keep the diamond. I'm good.
That's like 3 months salary, I think.
Yeah, exactly why I'm not buying it. Thank you for proving my point why I'm not getting a diamond. I'd rather have something that comes from an exploding star and it conducts. It's actually like more useful. Like gold is used in like little tiny bits of gold and silver. They conduct electricity very well. And they're like real minerals that actually like are useful. Diamonds just like artificially, they just brainwash people. That's also why I put like diamonds can look cool, but like they're brainwashed into like they are able to jack up the price because they just brainwash these people into thinking love equals diamond. I mean, that's not true. So like it almost like feels like in my mind it's like artificial love. That's why I just want to avoid it. It's just like I don't need a diamond. Like if my love is really true, I don't need a diamond.
Yeah.
There you go.
So if you've been in a relationship for, let's say, like 4 years, and you finally pop the question and propose, and you show her a ring that's not a diamond ring that she's been wishing since she was 5, or how early do girls plan their weddings? I know my older sister has had her wedding planned since she was a teenager.
Wow.
And the only missing piece was the husband. Literally everything else had already been planned out except for who was going to be the groom. I've
seen this matchmaking show and they say like people want the 100% spouse, meaning your dream spouse meet 100% of the requirements, but really you're only going to get like 60-70%. So I think your friend is setting herself up for failure.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Your sister?
I mean, she's setting up the wedding.
Oh.
Yeah, she's setting up how the wedding's going to look. Like, what kind of food she wants there, how, like, the seating arrangements are going to be, where it's going to be at, that kind of thing. Not, like, her whole life.
Yeah, like, I'd rather spend $20,000 on making an amazing wedding than a fucking, like, little tiny gem.
Yeah.
Like, having an amazing experience. Like, you don't take material when you die.
Go to Bali or something.
I mean, you can get married with it, but...
You still don't take it.
You can't take it to the afterlife.
You don't. You die empty-handed. The way you came in, it's the way you go out.
Yeah. I mean, like, for one, it's going to be a hard feat to... Because this isn't just, like... Let's say that, like, you convince your fiance that, hey, let's get a gold ring instead of a diamond ring. Okay, you convince her. But she's also feeling, like, based on facts, societally, it's different. Whether you like it or not, like, you're not going to change society on this point. It's like she's going to feel that pressure from her friends, her family.
I definitely think if you asked girls...
If she wanted it and that kind of thing, like she was raised to believe that kind of thing, it's going to take a lot more than you convincing her. But that's a societal point.
Everyone's different. I think if you'd ask more girls now, they wouldn't care as much because they're also kind of balling too.
And you could like bring up the case of blood diamonds as well. It's like, okay, like I want to avoid that so you could like get to the emotional side, but... Exactly. I mean, back to your point, if I'm like seeing a girl for 4 years, like we've already had this discussion. She doesn't know that I'm just gonna pull out a gold ring or something, or like a pierce. Like, I don't know. Like, if she really it makes that big a deal of it, then like they don't care about you.
Yeah,
they really care about a diamond ring over you. They care about an object over you.
100%.
Like, what? Where's the real love?
Joad's gonna be on the next first date and like, so diamonds, scams. Am I right?
Like, I'm not gonna say I would never buy a diamond ring just because. I don't want to say that, like give absolutes, but I would definitely avoid it. Like, there's no reason for it. No.
Yeah, there's a quote from Go Hunting where the girl like runs off to California or something, and Matt Damon's sitting in there with Robin Williams, and and Matt Damon's just convincing himself out of. Like, oh, but she has like a silly laugh and she snores and like just all these things that are wrong with her, and then he starts thinking about himself and like all of his pitfalls. And Robin Williams is just like, you're not a perfect sport, and let me save you the suspense. She's not perfect either. No one is. The only thing that you have to try to figure out is whether you're perfect for each other.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something that y'all are going to have to deal with together. Y'all are going to be different. And I don't know, it's just a sign of
I'm a dom.
I guess the diamond ring thing that's so hard about in a sense is like there's a reason why it's so expensive, and like Abio saying there's a financial investment to show like
I want to call it an investment.
Like till death do us part. Like if you're going to be committed till death do you part. Like, no matter what she does to you, only death will separate you. If you truly believe that, then spending 3 months' salary is just a testament to that faith.
Sounds good, but more than half of marriages end up in divorce. So
That's the issue in itself. I'm not a sport at all.
And my thing is also like a pretest. Like, there's higher chances you will stay together if she ends up being like, yeah, I don't need the like diamond ring. Like, our love is actually pure and not like these fake loves.
It's a stupid rock.
So I would actually like decrease the percentage of the divorce if she was like totally fine with that diamond ring.
Yeah,
like,
your knuckles are ugly anyway.
You're knocking out that like 15 to 20% of like women who are just in there for like the money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's also.
So how do you plan on reining in girls? Do you plan to lead with your wallet?
No. I plan to lead with my engine.
I think it's a tightrope walk. You can't be like a total bum.
Just because I won't buy a diamond ring doesn't mean like.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like, the reality is, most girls will like guys who are like wealthier.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes,
I don't know. I say it's a tightrope walk. You don't want to be overly flashy, but you don't want to like come off as like
stingy.
Yeah, you're living in a closet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm not afraid to let it fly, but
that's why it's easy to date up, because you know that they're not in it for the money, right?
Yeah.
And that's easier with our generation because more women are getting higher paying jobs. They're taking my fucking job. So
yeah, but like, what are the odds that they date down?
I don't know.
I mean, I've seen it before. I know a certain someone who is dating down right now.
I mean, obviously, like, it happens, but in terms of the general scheme of things,
I mean, like, love isn't about like objects and purchasing items. At the end of the day, like, obviously you don't want to be like cheap, but like if it just like. If financial reasons are the reason you guys like break up or something, it's just like
being able to support yourself is attractive.
Like, just think about it. Like, you crave love. Like, you want to like know someone and love someone. Would you really value that over money?
Well, I mean, like, there's a
certain depends on if you have money.
There's a certain
Ronaldo
necessity in money, though. Like, I mean, do you find any benefit out of materialistic things in any sense?
Yes, 100%. It is definitely a thing.
I find joy. Yeah, I find joy.
Give some examples.
But like, I don't worship it. Like, I don't go to sleep at the end of the day being like, I love this thing. You know?
Yeah.
That's not the last thing I think about when I go to bed.
I could give it up, but there's just little perks to having the things that make life a little easier. That's what I like.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like, one of my philosophies when it came to my career path and why I worked so hard on the front end. Like, I always wanted to work hard from the front end as, like, while I'm here in high school and college, and accumulate all this money before I end up having, like, a wife and kids and the financial responsibility to have to deal with them. That's a bad way of putting it. To take care of them. I do all this work on the front end, so that way I can open up, let's say, opportunity number 1 through 5. And, like, these are 5 top options that I get. And then I can pick from any one of those 5. If I want to settle down, like, let's say that opportunity 1 requires I work 80 hours a week. That's not good. Like, it's there if I want it. But if I'm single, yeah, I might take it. But if I have a wife and kids by the time, I can choose number 3. Work 50 hours a week and still make it all my kids' ball games. That's probably the one I take. But 1 is an option. There's a lot of kids I saw throughout high school, and that would just kind of throw it all away, their opportunities. And then now they're having to work 80 hours a week at McDonald's and barely get by. And, like, they have no choice. They only got option number 5. Me working this hard now gives me options 1 through 5, and I was able to choose 3 based on my circumstances. And that's kind of what money gives you. It gives you it releases some of the stresses of life, and the sense that, like, you don't have to worry about putting food on the table. You don't, like, cutting corners, trying to, like, shave here and here. It's like, okay, well, if you want dinner tonight, then I can't buy you a calculator for school. Money, like, once you meet your living costs, then maybe 20% more of that. Everything else is just extra. And I mean, you can spend on vacations to, like, have great memories with your family, or you can buy useful stuff. You can buy yourself a new car, and there's experiences with that too. I mean, there's a lot of great things about money, but it's not just the dollar bills. It's not the number that gets you anywhere. It's the, like, what what you can use with it to benefit your family, whether it's experiences, whether it's how you provide for them, make their life better.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I forgot what I was going to say.
Or even on a small scale. Like when I see, like here in Atlanta, as we were kind of joking about earlier with the homeless people problem, like there was one time where I was waiting at a gas station outside for my friend to pick me up, and there was a homeless man that asked me for some change, and I'm like, well, I don't have cash on me, but I have a card. Would you like to go inside the gas station and I can buy you a couple snacks and everything? Because I was using my resources because I wanted to give. And I wanted to do it in a way that I knew that was benefiting him. And he was like, no, I just want $5. I want to go to Waffle House. Now I'm like, I don't have cash for it. I'm sorry, but I wanted to give to him in that sense. Like that's the good things that money can do for you. Money can also do a lot of bad things. It's powerful. It's an amplifier. If you're a good person and you acquire money, then you become a better person. If you have ill intent and you gain money, you have more ability to do those bad things.
Yes, I'd say like a lot of like the high school kids they were just never taught to see opportunity. You know, you don't have to go to college to make a living, but you do have to know how to see and take advantage of opportunity. I always have like a number for things. I'd say money is like 60% of happiness. If you've got everything covered, because now that I'm working, it's like I just don't have to think about like food, car, a house, clothes, and just not having to think about that. It gives me all this energy to go do like all this like podcasting, and I can just put all my energy into work, podcast, like the things I like to do, and then I'm just going to be better off at the end of the day because of it. Yeah. So I grew up like very comfortable, so I've never had to think about that. I can't even imagine.
Mm-hmm. And the kids in the high schools, they just never had to work for anything. They were always just granted what they wanted.
Yeah, that was me.
Had to deal with any kind of adversity. I mean, you're an odd pod because you end up becoming successful with it, and you took advantage of the opportunities that your parents worked hard for.
Yeah, it took me a while to realize it though. There were like certain events that I was like, okay, I got to get my shit together.
Yeah, and I mean, like during the time, I bet you were like, "Oh, this is horrible. This is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life." And then now you looking back on it, it's probably like, in terms of where I am now, it's probably the best thing to happen.
Yeah, it's so weird. Yeah, it's like it's a love-hate relationship because it's like it sucks, but it's like if it didn't happen, I'd still be a pussy.
Yeah, and it's like, would you go back and do anything different? Probably not.
No.
Well, you're in a good spot right now. Right now I'm good. I'm negotiating a contract for my full-time job that I'm going to have after graduation. I'm trying to figure out how to delve in all that. And one of the things in terms of picking my career is that I wanted to make sure that if all my living expenses were paid, like essentially if I got everything covered that I needed to, like let's say that I was a girl and had a sugar daddy, and in that kind of sense, like if I had everything covered for me financially, would I work for this company for free? Essentially, that's my goal, because I mean, essentially, you got 24 hours in a day, right? You're supposed to sleep 8 of them, and you go to work for 8 hours, and then you add commutes and getting ready and eating dinner. You have maybe 4 to 5 hours to yourself, and then if you're supporting a wife and kids, you have to attend to them too. So you maybe have an hour to yourself every day, and 8 hours a day at your company. And if you sell off for the money, and maybe you work 80 hours a week, you're working even longer hours. And this is a job that you just don't enjoy. You don't enjoy the people there. You don't enjoy your boss. You don't enjoy the work you do. You think that your work might harm the public, and you're not comfortable with that, and you have no other choices. That's not what I wanted. I wanted it to be where if all my living expenses were paid for, and all my like wants and needs, whether it be like vacationing or getting a new car, etc., whatever I might need, if all those were covered, would I work for this company for free? Because that's a third of your life. And then that spans over 30 years of your life, whether it's that same company or not. That was very important to me. And my sister was pretty miserable at her previous job. She had no other choice because of COVID and furloughing, that kind of thing. And she recently just made the transition to go from that to teaching, and she's very happy with it. Like before, like she was so miserable on Sunday nights, be like, "Oh, I gotta go to work in the morning," and now she's excited to go to work. She sees the impact she has, and she's spending that third of her life happy and not miserable.
Exactly.
The money doesn't even matter in that sense. I'd rather take a third of my life happy than a third of my life miserable.
Definitely. I saw a video. It was like it was like breaking down like your time spent if you hate your job. And it's like, if you hate your job in your whole lifetime, you're only going to have 4 years of time in your whole lifetime to have fun or do the things you love.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're young, but not really. You're going to like blink and you're going to be 40.
It's honestly so crazy just kind of looking back on it. It's like, I remember walking around junior year high school or senior high school kind of thing, and just looking at everyone now 4 years later and about to have a full-time job. And
I know.
Like, third, I mean,
I've got joint pain. Like, bro.
Oh, the joint pain's getting ridiculous. Man. My back's gone. My back's shot. I'm too young for this.
I know.
But
I actually said no to staying up at night.
Gonna have to get a sugar mommy to pay them hospital bills.
Actually,
when you're 45.
I'm gonna have to bargain for no benefits. Oh man. But...
Actually, you should just get a masseuse for a wife.
It's not a bad idea.
Do a legal Deshaun Watson.
Within a bonds of marriage.
That's what we're calling massages now. Legal Deshaun Watsons. Hi, can I get a legal Deshaun Watson?
I mean, it's ethical. Wouldn't you say? Like,
just marry a Phoebe. Ethical. There you go.
There you go. And I'm sure she'd be happy to do it for free.
Oh yeah.
What's a Phoebe?
From Friends.
Phoebe from Friends. She's a masseuse.
Oh, haven't seen the show.
Yeah, but yeah. Now we're seniors, and like this past year, couple years, whatever. I just kept telling myself, I'm like, take advantage of this opportunity now. You'll never get it again. And then I go home and I'm tired. I go to bed. I wake up. I go to school. I do homework. I go to bed. I might get the chance to play basketball or throw the football around or do something on the occasion. But now it's like, this is my last semester, and I'm still telling myself that, I need to go join some clubs. I need to meet some people outside of my career interests. And like, now we're 14 weeks left of school and then gone, never go back. And it's just so weird to grasp that.
That's why lately I've been like doing most of my work in the morning and like the afternoon after class at the library. So I like save the rest of the day for like hanging out with you guys or something, or just like fun stuff to do, like playing soccer or like some club groups, or just like chilling out. Cause like if I go back home and I still have work to do, I'll just like be lazy and like go rest for like an hour on my bed, and then I'll do the work, and then the day's gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
But instead I did my work, had some fun.
You gotta enjoy life, or you'll end up being resentful. Mm-hmm. A lot of resentful people.
No regrets. Cannot live with regrets.
Yeah.
Do we want to end it off like that? It's been 42, 43.
I mean, do y'all have any other topics you want to
Final
discuss?
thoughts. I'll share a couple of bits. You guys tell me if they have potential.
We should have like a lightning round ending.
Lightning round of what?
You just like ask rapid fire. I mean, they could be for like the next pod, but like our endings are like lightning round.
We could do, like,
you just have a couple questions that you come prepared, and you're like just answer. No explanation.
Yeah, it's your pod too, so come with those questions.
All right.
Okay.
Next time I'll
Word
bring lightning round.
We need to play that.
Here's my first thing. So, there's categories of porn. Do you guys know there's one category? It's called family therapy porn. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Yeah. So it's basically when like the stepbrothers and the stepsisters and the stepmoms, they get together and I guess they fix their emotional problems. It doesn't have anything to do with therapy, but it's a weird name for
Clearly.
it, right? Yeah. So
that's kind of weird how that kind of got brought up in the span of COVID, because everyone was just shut in. You couldn't go out and meet new people and stuff. So but then they throw step at the beginning of everything and be like, "Oh, it's perfectly fine."
Yep.
It's perfectly fine if you have sex with your sister. Because it's stepsister and stepmom and stepdad and stepson. Like, how does that even work? Like, it has to go to like 8 different.
It's a whole flight of stairs.
It has to go to like 4 different marriages just for that setup to happen, and then they all got to be diabolical.
Yeah, the angle I was trying to play was like, I haven't set up the premise yet, but it's like something depressing happened to me, and my mom asked me, he's like, "Hey, you want to go to family therapy?"
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, wow, isn't that... Appreciate the offer, but...
Is that just casting couch?
No, that's different.
It's such a
something
lot on therapy. Oh, man.
I guess I'll throw away this one. You know how Salt Bay was at the World Cup celebration?
Mm-hmm.
He was like holding the gold. Did I tell you guys this already? He was like holding the gold World Cup trophy, and he was kissing it and shit.
Yeah.
But he also has like gold steaks at his restaurants. Like there's steaks which are like layered in edible gold that you can eat. Obviously overpriced.
Mansa Moose steaks.
You think the FIFA World Cup trophy is one of Salt Bay's steaks? He's just gonna cut it open and it's some Wagyu.
He's definitely gonna be putting that picture all over this fucking restaurant. I can tell you that.
No,
Isn't he fighting someone?
He's been like banned now from like all FIFA events though, or something.
I feel like he said he's gonna fight someone.
Not from FIFA.
That's Salt Poppy.
Salt Poppy is different.
From he's been banned from MLS.
MLS.
Yeah.
What?
The entire organization.
Oh.
I wonder if he even knew that existed.
He's like, okay.
Alright. College football or NFL?
NFL.
Okay. College basketball or NBA?
College basketball. Well, actually no. March Madness over NBA playoffs.
FIBA.
Facts.
What? FIBA? No, get out of here.
Regular season, I'll watch NBA regular season, but playoffs versus March Madness. Except for like maybe NBA finals.
I prefer college basketball just in general. The NBA is like very like it's the same cut and dry stuff all the time. It's either ISOs, pick and rolls, that kind of thing.
Well, it's not a true athletic competition. It's
like,
there's narratives and stuff.
Yeah, it's all about like how can we make the most money for the league, and now it's just so offensively geared. Like you get punished for playing defense. Like the way it was in the 90s.
Makes
like,
it very boring to watch.
You actually got to play defense, but now it's like you're anywhere near a player that can just jump into you and throw the ball up in a room, and they're getting free throws. Like Jimmy Butler putting up 25 in a single game is ridiculous.
It's frustrating. Well, maybe what we should do is make a bet on an NBA game and then watch the game and then start a podcast with a rant. The next one. But Trey Lawrence, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Obcast. I'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.